G'day Marvel Future Fight Gamers, VaderG here, welcome back to the channel. This afternoon we're going to have a bit of a chat about this impending October update and what it actually may mean for the Alliance Battle meta. So I'm sure there'll be other videos and other people having chats about different things in relation to this update. There's a fair bit of hype about this update just due to the potential size of the update. I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, I'm guessing that this might actually be a two-part update, similar to Infinity War, because there just seems to be so much content to actually get through. And what I want to kind of head back and just sort of recap as to potential, and we can see kind of the characters that potentially could be affected on the screen here, although this guy, I don't know what he's doing there, I'm not really sure. But I just want to go back and recap with the Alliance Battle side of things. At this current point in time, with the cap, with the ABX cap at 3.5 million, there's actually not that many days that are left open to not cap. Alright, so we'll just quickly flick through the rounds here. With Namor, obviously Combat Supervillain is kind of a piece of cake. There's no issue there. So we get into week 2 and we've got supervillain female. So at this point in time it is currently with that blue chick Minerva. Or if you have high HP from cards, then Victorious is still used by some of the Alliance tournament AC type people with high HP from cards. So that's one that can't cap. So we've got female supervillain, we can't cap. We can cap that one pretty easily. Combat female is another day that we can't actually cap. So at the moment we're using Minerva again for that. So we may have a candidate in this update to fill that gap there. What else have we got? Speed supervillain with either Electro or Korath. And then we've got Blast supervillain, which is currently Cyclops. So we've got 4 days, which means 5 Alliance Battle runs out of, what is it, 15 runs? 14 or 15 runs over a 2-week period that can't cap. So that's what we've kind of got to focus on. So Blast Villain, Female Supervillain, Combat Hero, Speed Supervillain. So firstly, none of the new content is really directed at any type of villain. I suppose Sabretooth, which I don't actually have, there he is here, sitting on the end in grey. He would be the only villain that could come into the equation with what we've seen, and we'll run through these sneak peeks in a second, that might actually come to fruition, but at the moment he's combat, and that class is really well and truly taken up by Namor for Alliance Battle Extreme. Keep in mind, I'm only talking Alliance Battle Extreme. It's not like I'm not excited about that update. We've got Combat Hero Female, and certainly Crescent certainly could fill that void if she got a tier 3, which would kind of be pretty cool actually. That would mean that we're pretty well. So we'd have Luna, and then we'd have Crescent, and White Fox is still awesome support anyway. So she could come into it. So we'll have a bit of a look at Crescent and you know what we could expect for her. A tier 3 could definitely be possible there. Speed Supervillain, I'm not seeing anything. So unless they change this guy Sabretooth's uniform to make him speed, which would probably be pretty cool, then nothing there. And there's no Blast villain that I can think of throughout this lot that may actually fall into that zone. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a look through the sneak peek. So the very first thing that dropped was these 4 symbols, which kind of everyone's kind of thinking what's going on here. So you'll see the diagram on screen, and that kind of representing Lunar Snow, Crescent, White Fox kind of set up there. So and you'll see through these further images here, which actually comes through on sneak peek number 2, which is different to sneak peek number 1, so it's all a bit disjointed. These sort of sneak peeks, or these snapshots from Netmarble, and you'll kind of see that, you know, we're looking at some new uniforms for Crescent, Lunar Snow, and White Fox based on the update information and based on this video clip which is actually sneak peek number 2. So sorry to go out of order here. This is sneak peek number 2. Let's have a quick look at that and have a look at some of these images on screen now. Alright, so short and sweet there, but we're definitely going to be getting uniforms for Lunar Snow, Crescent, White Fox. So from an Alliance Battle perspective, what we're looking at here is this one. Crescent, Lunar Snow, we already know, kicks ass. Not really sure what a new uniform is going to bring to her. She's already super OP as it is, but we will see. And White Fox is actually a pretty decent unit as well, just to use solo. So she could go to the next level actually with a uniform. But the one I'm most interested, obviously, is Crescent. And if she gets her tier 3, which I think she will, that's my opinion, but who really knows? Only Netmarble developers know that. Then yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. All right, so that's sneak peek. Well, let's call it sneak peek A with those 4 symbols. Sneak peek number 2 with that little video clip of these 3, and then let's go to sneak peek number 1. Swordmaster and Arrow. So these guys are from the Agents of Atlas series, and I've got to be perfectly honest, I'd never heard of these guys. Never heard of Swordmaster, never heard of Arrow, and I've never heard of Agents of Atlas. But that's just me. I'm not a big comic nerd, and not really a comic reader as such. But Agents of Atlas, I'm going to put some images up here on screen. This really impacts quite a few characters. So we're looking here at we look at the dude in the center in the suit, by the way, is Jimmy Woo. He's kind of the leader of Agents of Atlas. But we're looking at Shang-Chi here. We're looking at Wave. We're looking at Cho. We're looking at, let's actually get onto the screen here that we kind of, yeah, so we're looking at Silk. We're looking at Wave. We're looking at Chalk. We're looking at Shang-Chi and Silk. They're kind of the main units that we'd be looking at in there that are already in game. I tell you what, it'd be pretty awesome to see Shang-Chi go to the next level. That Bruce Lee kind of feel. He is pretty cool to play in game. I enjoy it, but he's very weak these days. So I think that would be a pretty cool thing for him to get a new uniform and potentially level 70, just for general gameplay. So Agents of Atlas, there you go. You see some screenshots on screen. See what those guys are about. There's heaps of characters there. And we potentially could be looking at around about, what are we looking at? Probably another 3 to 4 uniforms. So on top of the initial 3 that we looked at with Crescent, Lunar, and White Fox, I think we're probably looking at potentially another 4 uniforms here from Agents of Atlas. So uniforms abound. And guess what? We're only up to sneak peek number 2. So let's have a look at what came through yesterday, sneak peek number 3. And we see this image here on screen, and it's got Rogue in a pretty cool looking uniform, back to back with Scarlet Witch, and she's got more of her old school type uniform equipped there. And there's a few dudes in the background, and what you can actually what you can make out if you kind of look really hard, you can kind of see that the dude on the left is, in all likelihood, he is going to be Vision. So Vision probably going to get his rework and a new uniform, which would be very cool, because he is an OP sort of dude, so it's nice to see him getting a bit of love in the game. The guy in the middle looks to be like Quicksilver. So we'll stick an image of Quicksilver up here on the screen in that uniform. And you can sort of see the guy in the back right hand side. It's hard to make out. I alluded to Sabretooth earlier. It kind of looks like that when you lighten the image up, and thanks to For Asgard for providing this image, it kind of looks like that. That's who it could be. It could be Sabretooth with a uniform. It could be others as well. There's definitely not a definite Sabretooth uniform, but it could be that. So there's another, what do we got? I think that's another 3 uniforms, yeah? So I think we've got Vision uniform, then we would have Quicksilver uniform, and potentially a Sabretooth uniform as well. So that's another 3. So we've got the initial 3, which are these guys, so they're definites. Then, based on that photo that we've just seen, there would be Sabretooth, there would be Quicksilver, and there would be Vision. So that's another 3. Then we've got Scarlet Witch and Rogue. So what do we got? So 3, 3, 2. So we're up to 8. And then whatever Agents of Atlas uniforms we get. We could be looking at 11 to 12 uniforms. So that's 10k crystal updates. That's something, which makes me think that there's no way that they're going to do this update in one hit. There's no way that that will be released into the game. And the other interesting thing, there's really been no villains. Besides Sabretooth, there's no villains introduced yet in these sneak peeks. And we want villains, right? I mean, I love villains. Villains are the best. They're the best thing in the game, in my opinion. So there's got to be these antagonists. There's got to be these villains introduced as well. So very, very curious to find out what you guys think. May end up coming in from a villain point of view in the game. What potential new game modes there might be on the back end of these characters. Netmarble have they're certainly introducing a lot of stuff. Will they affect some game modes? Will they change things? Don't know. It's all out there. It's all pretty exciting. So guys, be interested to hear your thoughts on this update, what you're thinking, and probably from my point of view, considering, let's recap on what days we can't cap in Alliance Battle Extreme, and assuming Netmarble leave the cap at 3.5 million, right? They may boost it right up. It might go up to 4.5 million. That's entirely possible. But currently, the days which we're kind of struggling to cap on still is Blast Villain, Female Supervillain, Combat Hero, which definitely could be Crescent. If she gets a tier 3, she could really sort of fit into that zone. And Speed Supervillain. Potentially all I can see out of this update at this point in time would be Crescent if she gets a tier 3 and a pretty cool uniform. Guys, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video. Particularly interested in your thoughts on the villains. I don't know a huge amount about these comic series, the Uncanny Avengers, and also Agents of Atlas. Agents of Atlas I really don't know anything about, so I don't know who the villains are in that zone. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with another video over the next few days, probably having a quick look at Namor, Tier 3. Like, subscribe, comment, share, tell your friends about the channel. Appreciate it all. Thanks, guys. Bye.